Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to JT's Vending Services LLC's YouTube channel. Sorry, that's my coffee. Let me grab it real quick. All right, so this video for you guys will be covering how the Hilliard family walked into 2025 with a plan. We always have a plan when we're dealing with our family, when we're dealing with simple like budget things and life things, because um, we have one, we're a Christian household, and the Bible tells you that a wise man thinks ahead. So me and my wife, we consistently try to plan for as much as possible because we know for a fact that if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. So with that being said, guys, let's get ready and get into it. So we're going to start. First of all, I always forget to say, please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get more information, more posts when we post our videos about budgeting and personal finance. So, all right, um, let's get into the first part of it, which is from biblical principles. So you can turn to. Uh-oh. You can turn to Proverbs chapter 21, verse 5. And it reads as thus: The plan of the diligent certainly leads to profit, but anyone who is reckless certainly becomes poor. And my notes say the reckless person is literally the hasty one, the one that's fast and don't care. They're in a hurry, and he lacks forethought or diligence. So again, these are biblical scriptures about being diligent and having a plan in place. The next verse will be Proverbs chapter 21, verse 20. And it says, precious treasures and oil are in the dwelling of a wise person, but a fool consumes them all. My notes, I have to consume is literally means to gulp down. The wise person accumulates valuable savings, but the fool, and in Hebrew it's kishiv, spends his income as fast as it is produced. All right. So, with just those two scriptures alone, you should understand how to have a plan in place, or why you should have a plan in place. And even if you say, "Well, I'm not a Christian," that's fine. A wise man thinks ahead. You don't have to be a Christian or a follower of Christ to understand those principles. Well, Elon Musk and wealthy people, they understand you have to have a plan. You can't just go into anything reckless with your money because you'll end up broke. The Bible tells you that. The world shows you multiple examples of people winning the lottery. What happens? They don't change their mindset. They go broke extremely quickly. So, those are just two scriptures that we're covering right now to point out why you should walk into 2025 with a budget. So I'm gonna give you guys a rough draft of our budget with our family as we walked into 2025. So following those two scriptures that we just covered, me and my family walked into 2025 with this following plan. And the number one, it says date night once a month. Once a month, me and my wife pick a day where it's just me and her. It may entail us sitting at home reading books, watching a movie, cuddling, and we may go out to dinner or something, but we mostly just enjoy spending quiet time with each other because, we have two children and you don't get that much quiet time. So that's what we're doing this year as we did last year. Number two will be self-care. Self-care for us is focused around our marriage, but my wife she gets some time to herself when she goes shopping for the kids. We let her shop by herself on a budget. We set a budget. Me and her agree on a budget amount, a dollar amount that we are going to spend on the children for clothes or whatever. And then she gets it and she goes and sticks to a budget. But that's her therapy. She loves that self care. Me, myself, Man, playing the game. When I want self care and time to myself, time to like empty my brain, I'll play the video game. I'll just get on the game, or I'll read some scripture, or I'll go in my garage and work on something. And that's me taking some time to myself. That's number two is self care once a month. Number three would be intentional family days. So intentional family days will be days that we contribute to being intentional with our entire family. My son, me, my wife, my daughter. Um, we typically do that on the weekend. We make the weekend since so first of all since he gets visitation, he gets 6 days a month visitation with his mom. I'm the sole custodial parent for my son from a previous relationship. He gets 6 days, so every second and fourth weekend he's here with us. We do intentional family stuff on the weekends, whether it's going outside, whether it's going to backyard swimming, whether it's having laser tag fights. We love those. We do those during the week, but intentional family stuff so we can build those kind of collective memories together and talk about the good times as our children grow up. That's number three. Number four is supplements. Let me take a sip. So, um, we all, me myself, typically, I have two that I cycle back and forth between. But for the most part, we have supplements that we use our HSA account for. And my son, he has the Flintstone support and bone health stuff because he has cerebral palsy. Me, I have the Mega multivitamins Centurion. My daughter, she has the little gummies, and I also take the 50 plus, me and 50 plus one a day. Rotate those. My wife takes these. We had to make sure that we get our supplements in because for the most part, we don't get all of our nutrition from the food that we eat because sometimes we eat junk. Um, so that's just one of the things we do to add supplements, and we've been doing it for the last several years. But my daughter just got on her multivitamin supplements this year. We just had to confirm everything with the doctor. So that's number four, which is supplements. I saw some phone. Anyway, number four is supplements. Number five is to pay off all debt by April. So my son has braces coming up, like $6,000 braces, and we don't have any other consumer debt other than those braces that's going to pop up. But our goal is to go ahead and knock that out to put $3,000 to $4,000 toward it when he gets them next month, and then over the next few months to go ahead and pay that off. And it's just for us so that we can continue to invest heavily in our 401ks and our Roth and our HSAs and stuff like that. So we stop for a second to put everything toward the braces that he needs. And that's considered debt. And the only other debt we have is a home, and that's we're not going to pay that off within by April. But you get what I'm saying. The basic consumer debt, like we don't have our cell phones are paid for outright. Our cell phone bills paid once a year. Homeowners insurance, car insurance, all this stuff is paid once a year. So we try to typically keep down our monthly expenses so that we don't have so many monthly bills because we don't like them. So that's our goal for this month. And you don't have to set your goal according to this, but this is what we're doing. What's that? Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six. So number six is vacation. So my wife me and her discussed over the phone yesterday and in person some vacation ideas. And this year, since she's in school, she goes back to school in February, I think. I think she'll be done by July, and then I'm picking up school. I'll be going back to school to get some additional certifications and training in a completely different career field. You couldn't guess what field I'll be going into, from corrections and law enforcement into math. I'll tell you guys later. But we have to make sure that we're spending on the training and certification for her school and my school. We make sure we minimize the vacations this year so that we can finish our education and our training so that we can do more in 2026. So vacations this year may be cut down to like one or two. And they're going to, we already set the distance, maybe, 5 or 6 hours away from our home, somewhere we can drive to in a day and stay a day or two and then drive back home. Um, and I told her, like, anywhere we can get, as far as we can get on the full tank of gas, within a perimeter. So we typically this year trying to set our vacations low because we have so much training in school and medical stuff coming up with the children getting older. So we minimize our vacation, but you don't have to. If it's in your budget and you have a budget set, hey, do whatever makes you and your family happy. Set number 7 is financial priorities. Now, I should have put that first, but having financial priorities will help you do everything else. You can't date night, self care, family, family days can use a lot of free stuff, but most of this stuff you need money. So you need to budget. You need to set a budget, live on a budget, and stick to it. Saying, "Oh, I got a budget," then I go, "Do you stick to it?" You go, "Well, some things come up." No, I know things come up, but you have an emergency fund for that. Well, no, I don't. Well, you hadn't done an actual budget. So, what I kind of instruct people to do, especially when they don't understand what an emergency fund is, the first step is to just set a simple budget, and this will be under financial priorities. Now, I'm going to show you guys just a rough draft of what I'm writing down here. It's just a simple rough draft of an income, how to do kind of like a T chart. I hope that's clear. It might not be clear. Hold on. What's it? There we go. Hey guys, truly sorry for interrupting you watching this video. Thank you for just subscribing to our channel and watching our videos. But we want to come to as now, as they do in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7 says, God loves a cheerful giver. He loves someone who gives what's decided in their heart, not out of obligation or compulsion. So we're coming right now to ask you guys to give to our ACER program, which is a step into reality. And you can go to our website here, and at the very top of the page, you'll see a donation button. Click that donation button, and we would truly appreciate you give what God puts on your heart to give. And what we do, we take those resources and we go into low-income areas and we teach biblical principles about personal finance to try to help the young men and women reduce some of the generational poverty that will come if they don't have this foundation of personal finances. And we're adults. We know how hard it is when you don't know how to manage the money you do have coming in. And when children are growing up, they form bad money habits, and that leads to generational poverty. So, guys, thank you so much. Please give whatever your heart desires. We thank you so much again for being subscribed. And back to the show. Have a blessed day. See how I got this set up? Write your needs and your wants. Now, those wants, random stuff, but as you can see, I wrote down under So your four walls you have to make sure you always take care of, which is your mortgage or rent, food, which is your groceries, not food like going fast food, transportation and utilities. Those four come first. You can't live without those four. No human can. And then you cover things that you want. I just put phone, Hulu, which is a streaming platform. Um, I was at the store and a young woman was bragging about how much money she spends on her sports team gear. I was like, oh, that's probably what people waste money on too. So I put that down. Eating out and trips, vacations. So that's under wants. But you have to make sure that your needs are covered first. If you're bringing in $2,850 a month, divided by 4 weeks, that's $712.50 net. That's what you bring home, not gross. Gross is before taxes and all of that stuff when you get paid. Well, we're covering net. So when you do your T chart, your income, which is your net, what you bring home on your paycheck, that bottom line on your paycheck, and then minus the expenses that you have. I don't know how much you guys' expenses are, but on average, you know from your bank statements or from your credit cards or from something what you have coming out. So, excuse me. So that's roughly like what we're trying to make sure you have set up. Make sure you have a budget and your financial priorities, and then within that budget, excuse me, within that budget, budget out what you plan on doing for the year, what you plan on spending. And if you're in debt and you're trying to get out of debt, your goal is to not go on vacations. You can do a staycation and have just as much fun, not have every streaming platform known to man, not sit at home playing the video game and having every new video game to come out when you can't even feed yourself. Because I run into a lot of people that complain about, well, I ain't got enough money. And then I go, do you live on a budget? And they go, yeah, I live on a budget. Do you stick to the budget? Then they go, well, things happen. And then they come up with 85,000 excuses on why they can't budget the money that they have coming in. And I guarantee you, when they sit down and do a budget with me and I look, like they say they can't live without buying some sports gear because their favorite team is Dallas Cowboys. They can't live without eating out because they don't feel like cooking. They have to go on vacation because their friends going on vacation, or they watch Hulu, but their kids watch Netflix, and their mama Nam uses her Amazon Prime, and she has to have 6 people on her phone so she can get a discount of $10 a month. Sounds like a lot of foolishness. So your financial priorities, you have to put that stuff in order because you are in control of your finances. If you don't control it, it goes out of control, and now you're aimless. And you go, man, where my money going? Well, you broke because you're not watching what your money is doing. You're not telling it what to do. You're just letting it go and hoping you make more, and then it don't work that way. So make better decisions with your finances. Prioritize your finances, your money, so you can live better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 8, wheat, um, is routines. Here in the Hilliard household, we do focus on routine. We focus on um, my son getting up in the morning, doing his morning routine, which is brushing his teeth, wash his face, deodorant, get dressed, blah, 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 because he's done his nighttime routine, which is pick out his clothes the day before. So he won't have to be rushing in the morning to get up, get breakfast, get to school. So routines for our family and our children, they help us a lot. And we even on routine, come down, take your vitamins, take your multivitamins, they're on the counter. Stuff like that helps them get into a rhythm of consistently doing something. Then it becomes a habit, and then it becomes a lot easier. So routines in our house help us stay structured and routinely pray when we eat. Give God thanks every morning. I pray with my family before we left this morning. I did all these things to try to consistently push that routine. And last but not least, number 9 is read more books, less screen time. Now, what I mean by less screen time, we all know that there's Instagram, Facebook or Meta, X, TikTok, Snapchat, all of these platforms that keep people poor. And when I said reduce your screen time, that means reduce the foolishness that you watch. That means the algorithm picks up if you're watching women twerk or women do yoga, especially for men. If you're on YouTube watching a woman shake her boobs, you're watching a woman do yoga in tight clothes where she's kind of stretching her legs and opening her legs, and her private part is showing or her boobs are showing, and you're watching all these things. The algorithm picks that up and it consistently sends you that kind of feed so that you can consistently watch it and give it more time. You have to understand that if the platform is free, then you are the product. I hope that let that sink in. If the so you're watching me right now on YouTube. YouTube is essentially free for most people, almost all people, unless you pay for like subscriptions and different channels and stuff like that. But ultimately, it's free, and it'll pick up on the algorithm from the things that you watch. So if you're trying to get better with your finances, that's something good to watch. If you're trying to improve, so this video will be helpful to you, hopefully, or other people, and it'll pick up more financial tips and other videos in the algorithm that you can watch to help you do better with your finances. But if you consistently watch women shaking their booty, women shaking their boobs, women's yoga so they stretching their legs wide open, or anything that doesn't add value to your life, and it's essentially, they have videos on here where women just sit and breastfeed. And yes, they say it's for entertain. I mean, it's not for entertainment purposes, but come on, guys, you got to do better with your finances, with your budget. You have to do those things, and reducing your screen time on the foolishness. Now, like I said, videos like this and financial literacy stuff, it's fine. It's okay. Not just my videos, but you have Dave Ramsey, especially his stuff on YouTube, and it's free. It can help you get a head start and give you different examples. But if you consistently watch foolishness, if you always do what you have always done, then you will always be where you have always been. That on that. So I hope this video has helped someone in some kind of way. That's our budget for 2025. Walking into, that's what my family has done, those 9 things, and we will stick to them throughout the year because we have different goals we're trying to reach. So ultimately, my next video I will cover some of the new and 2025 contribution that the federal government has added to like different accounts. But we'll cover that in the next video, guys. I love you guys, and I truly appreciate you watching this video. Please sit down and do a T-chart budget to where you write down your income to the left, your expenses to the right, your needs in one category, and then your wants in one category. And look at the amount that you're paying for everything. So you can go back into your account on your phone, Chime, or whoever you use for banking. See how much your phone bill is a month. You know how much it is. See how much Hulu is a month. Write that down. Add up how many times you bought team sports stuff. How many times you ate out at a restaurant. Add all of those up in a dollar amount. Put it next to it. You know your rent or mortgage. You know how much that is. Your groceries. You're gonna have to add that up. And that's where me and my family struggle with groceries, because we used to go to the grocery store like 3 to 4 times a week. Transportation and utilities, write all that stuff down. Try to get you a budget set up this month so that when the IRS start taking taxes, you get your tax return. You don't just blow it at Walmart or Target, or you blow it on a new big screen TV, because I'm telling you guys, that TV is keeping you poor as well. If you spend most of your day coming home to watch TV, so even if you get a job, you got a job, you go to work, you work 8 to 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. You come home and watch TV for 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours a week, and then you just go to sleep. Anything you do consistently over time becomes a habit, and you're not adding any skill set so you can make more money. You're not and this is completely up to you guys. You don't have to do this stuff, but but if you don't do it, you can't complain about not having enough money. You can't complain about the government not doing something. You're not doing nothing. You're sitting around wasting time watching TV, watching girls twerk, watching people fight on YouTube, watching foolishness when you could be watching videos like this that helps you like understand how the world really works and helps you understand why it is so important to do a budget and why is it so important to be on top of your finances. So I hope this video helped. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Have a blessed day. Au revoir. A bientôt. À la prochaine.